Hi, welcome to the channel. My name's Jeff and I'm in charge of this shit show known as Garage Built Strongman. And if you've been here before, thank you for coming back. If not, welcome to the shit show. But to those of you that watched previous videos, I want to apologize for the last video. I watched it a few times and I hated it. It just seemed like such a thrown together thing. I was really trying to maybe condense it to keep it interesting, but I felt like there was no information passed forward. So we're going to do it a little bit different this time, and let me explain. All right, so we use an app to get our programming from the coach, and it's broken down. But the way I put it out there, it really, you guys don't know what I'm doing or why I'm doing what I'm doing. You just see me do one or two exercises here and there, and I talk about it a little bit, and away we go. But so in the app, it breaks everything down, how to do it, percentages, weights, blah, 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 all that good stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I get through the app, and maybe at another time I'll show you the app itself. So here's how it breaks down. So today is my good day. Today we get to do log. And yes, I'm going to do that every time. But, so this is the breakdown of my workout today. So we got log cleans. We're going to do 3x3 at 190 pounds. And we're going to do Viper presses, which I'm not necessarily great at, but we're going to work on them anyway. So we're going to do 4 sets of 1 to a max. Then we're going to do log strict presses, 2 sets to max weight or max reps at 185 pounds. We're going to do some pin presses, again for max weight. And then we're going to do, the reason there's a little red line here is because these two are together. So I'm going to do pull-ups, 4 sets to the most amount of pull-ups I can do, and then max push-ups. And then the last one's going to be rolling tricep extensions, 2 sets of 24 with 30-pound dumbbells. And that's basically the way we do it on all our workouts. Some of them have more things put together, some of them have less. And everything is broken down pretty simple and pretty easy to do. So when I show you these workouts, but I don't really go through why I'm doing what I'm doing, I feel like a lot is lost and you're just watching some idiot do shit and it may or may not make sense to you. Sometimes it does, but I don't know if it leaves space for you to ask questions, if it's worth asking questions anything about. I mean, I welcome them, of course. But I feel like there's a lot that could be improved upon. So this is what we're doing today. So I'm going to finish my warm-up. We're going to break out Big Alice and we're going to get to it. All right, so in the interest of efficiency, in some cases it makes sense for me to move and adjust my workouts a little bit. So as Viper Press is the second workout, I'm actually going to do it first because I can start with an empty log because it's not something I've done often enough. So it made sense just to move it there because the log cleans was at 190 pounds. So this really works out, I think, in my favor. It may or may not, but I think I'm going to start with an empty log at 140 pounds and move up from there. We're going to throw some chalk. I like the liquid chalk to start with as a base, and then I use the regular chalk after that. I picked up the Evolution Athletics underbelt. What's happening is when I'm doing axle pressing or log and a couple other things, what's happening is I'm getting bruising across my stomach. And I don't know if it's necessarily that I'm doing anything different. Before, I never had any trouble with it, but that was 20 to 40 pounds ago. At 260 pounds, I never had any problem with bruising. Now it seems like it's every time I do log presses or axle cleans or there's a couple other exercises that are slipping my mind at the moment that I'm getting these bruising. So I'm helping with that by getting a little extra padding and the extra support and the warmth. I'm not a young guy, 48 years old, so this is the shit you got to do. So let's throw some chalk on and get at it. So I managed 180 there. A little slow, but I'm still a bit cold. So hopefully when I get to the strict press, which is 185, I'll be a little more efficient. So we're going to move over to the log cleans at 190 pounds. So I only got to add 2 more 5s and I'm off to the races. Off to the races. What the? Well, that'll do it for that. Next, strict pressing. All right, 185 strict for max reps. I don't anticipate there being a lot of reps here. It's up there with my strict press PR. So let's just have a go, and we'll see. We'll see. Nope. Don't like the feel of that. We're gonna move on. Really don't want to re-injure my shoulder, so we're gonna take that for what it's worth. All right, we're gonna move on to pin presses here. And seeing as how now my shoulder feels like hot garbage, we're gonna start off nice and easy. Having had 2 shoulder injuries in the last year, I like to try and keep a narrower grip and keep my elbows tight and not put too much stress on the shoulders. It's good. It's a nice little warm up. All right, so I'm just moving up in 20-pound increments, and I'm just going to keep going that way. All right, we're up to 205. That felt a little too easy. I think I got room for a little more. All right, next up I got some pull-ups and some push-ups. I like using the straps because this bar, it's a little bit gnarly at the top. Poor paint job, and there's some chips of paint missing out of it, so it generally tears up my hands. So out of a little bit of laziness and whatnot, I like to use the straps. I'm not terribly good at pull-ups, so I don't expect a whole lot out of this. Probably 4 or 5 for the first set. But it wasn't that long ago that I couldn't do a pull-up. Surprise, surprise. I also don't really have the height on this rack. Eventually I want to do something a little different, but I haven't figured out exactly what that is yet. So you can go ahead and critique in the comments about my pull-ups, but it is what it is. That's fair. That's fair. All right, we're gonna do some push-ups. I'm gonna use these 4x4s to give me a little more depth in my push-up. It's actually supposed to be 4 inches. These are only, these are pieces of 4x4 I had that I cut down to make use, because I didn't have anything 4 inches long that I could use. Not for push-ups. But this is just a point I'd like to make, that you don't need a gym with $20,000 or $30,000 or $40,000 worth of equipment. A lot of my stuff here has been bought secondhand. I got dirty, rusty old plates and, a lot of used equipment. Some of the stuff had to be bought new because that's just the way it is. But you make do and make it happen, because that guy with the $30,000 gym, is he getting a better workout? Maybe. But he spent more money to get there. I'll take 24. I'm not going to bore you with the whole setup of here and all the reps and everything, but this just gives you an idea of what the next setup was. And then when I'm done this, we'll move on to the next thing. All right, the last thing on the list is rolling tricep extensions. What's not on my list is I like to do dumbbell hammer curls when I do log. Keeps the forearms strong, a little bit of bicep workout, and the way I do it is I exaggerate it, so it's kind of a whip motion, and kind of mimics the way you pull the log. I like to do both of them because I'm going to use 30-pound dumbbells for both. And I'm just going to do one, and then I'm just going to jump up and get right into the next one. And it's 2 sets of 24 for the rolling tricep extensions. And then I'm going to do 2 sets of 14 to 16 for the hammer curls. Now, you've probably seen me do these before, but I thought I'd take it from the side so you can kind of see the motion. It really burns up the tricep. So, as I said, just getting in here, do some hammer curls, and lots of body motion. And that's that. All right, well, that's going to do it for today. I hope you like this format a little better. I feel like the information's relayed better, breaks it down better so you understand what I'm doing and you can see what I'm doing. And in a future video, I think I'll show you the app that we're using. Not that I'm sponsored by the app, it's just the one my coach uses for all his trainees. So thank you to all my subscribers for checking me out. Those of you that are new, I hope you'll stick around. And 2024 is coming in pretty quick. I've already got a competition scheduled for February of this year. My apologies, next year. I'm hoping for a little bit better year. I did well this year. I was pleased, but we're hoping it gets better next year. So again, thank you all for stopping in, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.